Hello and welcome back. I'll change this album to name, and back in the browser I'll search for an artist. So just as we did before, we want to be able to click on details and display the details of this album. That means I'm going to generate a page to handle that, and I'm also going to add a click event to this button. So back in the console, I'll call the page album details. The page has been generated, and again we need to add it in the app-module.ts file. So I'll copy this and import it in the app-modules.ts file. And we need to add it in the declarations as well as the entry components. Next, I'll also import it in the artist albums.ts file. Then I'll add a click event to this button. So click. I'll just call this view album. And I'll pass in the ID of the album, so a.id. So we need to implement this method. Once more, I'll copy this and implement it in the artist album.ts file. So this ID should be of type string. So just as we did before, in this method, we're basically going to navigate to the album details component or page. So I'll simply copy what we have here and paste it here. Then this should be album detail. We need to pass in only the ID. Next, in the album details.ts file, I'll get rid of this. Then once more, I'll import inside here the provider class. And inject it here as a dependency. This is of type Spotify provider. Next, I'll create the following fields: private ID of type string, private album of type any, private image link of type string, and finally private tracks. This will be an array of type any. Next, I'll get the ID we just passed from the artist albums.ts file. So here in the constructor, I'll type this .id and assign it nav params. This should be this .nav params .get. We get in the ID. So once more here, I'll create a method and call it getAlbum. And in this method, we are going to use this object and call the searchAlbum method from the provider class and pass in this ID to get the details of a particular album. So I'll start by calling this method here. And inside here, I'll just type this .provider.searchAlbum this one, and pass in the ID of the album. This should be this.id. And we also need to subscribe to this method. So once more we get the data or an error. I'll log the error to the console. Then I'll start by assigning the data to this album object. Once more, this object contains an array of images, so I'm going to be using just one of those images. This.image link should be equal to this.album.images. And it also contains an array of tracks, so this.tracks should be equals to this.album.items. So we are going to display this image in the HTML file as well as the list of tracks. So I'll open up the album details.html file, then I'll get rid of this. And most of what we are going to be doing here will be similar to what we just did in the artist albums.html file. So I'll open that up and just basically copy the following. And paste it here. So I'll remove this from here and display it instead here. So in this if condition, I'll get rid of this and instead check for the image link. And this should be image link.url. I'll get rid of this. And here I'll add an h2 tag and display the name of the album. So album.name. And this one here should be tracks. I'll call this T, and this should also be tracks. And we want to display here the name of a track. So T dot name. I'll get rid of this click event here and save it. Now back in the browser, you might have this kind of an error. What I did is I just went back to the file that is complaining about, like this album details.ts file, and then basically did nothing and save it. And back in the home.ts file, I also did nothing, like just so, and save it. And for some reason that error is gone. So let's try to test this and see. I'll open up the browser and search for an artist. And if I click on details, we should see the details of this album. So we navigate to the album details page, but we see nothing. Something is wrong. Let's look in the console to see what went wrong. So I wrongly formulated this URL. Let's fix that. That should be in the provider class. So I'll open it up. And we need to get rid of this. I already specified it here. I'll save this. Once more in the browser, let's test this and see. So I'll search for an artist and click on the albums. We get the albums. Then if I click on the details, we get the picture and the name, but not the tracks. This is because back in the album details.ts file, I need to add here .tracks to access the tracks. So I'll save this, and once more in the browser, I'll search for the same artist and click here. Then I'll click on details, and this time around we get the tracks. So we get the tracks as follows. These are the various tracks in this album. So in the next video, we are going to preview these tracks. That is, we are going to implement it in such a way that when the user clicks on this link here, they should be able to at least listen to that track. So until then, see you.